right, guys, you're looking at the thumbnail, you're looking at the title of the video. Y'all already know what time it is. It is time to get active. Guys, very special video for you here today. Now listen, one of the mantras that I've been speaking on this channel since its inception, one of the most important lessons that you must be an expert at to be a great participator and member of society is this concept of dealing with and handling your emotions. In this fluffy, foo-foo, entitlement world that we have here today, it's one of the greatest lessons that we have lost and left behind of yesteryear. Okay? This art and this concept of putting yourself into situations where you need to learn how to manage your emotions, practice measured responses, practice stoicism, and all of the above. And this feeds into so many different aspects of life, which is so key, which is so incredible. Dealing with and managing women, okay? Studying for hard exams or tests, applying to jobs, okay? How you deal with and handle yourself in a professional manner, in a manly manner is very keen. It's very important. I did a video not too long ago regarding one of my new favorite people on this planet, Mr. Jason Wilson. I love his work. I love his content. I recently just purchased his book. Haven't read it yet. Haven't had a lot of time. Anyway, I wanted to go over some key lessons that he taught and the way that he taught that and give you guys my commentary on top of it. Stay tuned. You're going to love this one. Without further ado,
get them hands up. Now I'm gonna go 1, 2. Come on. Come on, get here, stop retreating. Where you going? Come here. Stay behind him. Put your hands up. Good. 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 All right, so long. You gotta get past all of that, okay? Good job.
As I began to work with the other boys, I noticed that Kobe was crying, so I came back to him to see why he was crying.
Be honest with me. Shh. You don't know. You're overcoming fear, okay? You're overcoming self-doubt. It's okay, cry. You can cry, okay? You can cry. All you gotta do is cry, okay? Listen, you cry, you can cry. Okay? Cry. That's how you heal yourself.
yeah.
All of you have self-doubt here. All of you, the reason you implode is because you don't let it out. Every last one of you in this group has the same issue. And his fear, his self-doubt, he beats himself up. I go through the same thing. But that's why I say this place is safe to cry. It's safe to be Superman, because I will not break your spirit. I will break your will.
Oh, bars. I won't break your spirit, but I will break your will. Again, in this culture today, we haven't put young men in enough situations to have their will broken and to be in a controlled environment where their will can gain steam. Now, there's those that are put in uncontrolled environments where their will can gain steam, but then there's others that are faced with this idea of not dealing with their emotions, and then it blows over in other ways. Now, notice what he also said as well. He also said, cry, it'll heal yourself. And here's the thing. I think especially within the community that I reside, this idea of dealing with and handling your emotions, but the bravado within that is not allowing yourself to cry is complete and utter bullshit. I think that there's a time and a place for crying, and you can do it in the dojo, because what did he say? He'll break your will, but not your spirit. But that's why lessons like this are so important, okay? Because it is a space amongst boys, amongst men, where you can learn how to deal with your emotions. That fear, that crying feeling of that fear is an emotion that you have to build as if it's a muscle in your body to know how to deal with it. Because within bullies in and around him, when he starts crying, they might see that as a sign of weakness, which is why when I have boys one day, I guarantee you that the dojo is going to be the main place that they stay at. But let's learn some more.
So it's fear, right? You're scared, and that's okay. But I'm here to help you work through that. That's my job.
Yeah.
If you stay right here where you are, I fail. The Bible says, iron sharpens iron, so is one man sharpens another. Too many of us have swords that look like they can cut, but they have no edge. Because no one has been sharpening it with friction. That's my job.
Yeah.
I'm a servant, I'm the extension of your father.
It's a father's job as well, but he's an extension.
Just cry and work through these things. All right, let it go, let it go, let it go.
It's some powerful shit.
You can cry in here. You understand? That's what this is about. It's about bringing real healing to you. I never had opportunity.
Crying is like vomiting, okay? It's like vomiting, hear me out. Your stomach hurt, it's upset, because you got the bullshit that's stuck down up in there and your body wants to let go of it. And what happens when you do? You fearful up until that point. But once you let it go, what happens? You feel a lot better. Okay? What he said in the beginning, the crying is the healing of yourself. Okay? But guys, take this lesson into account. It's also important the arena that you choose to do it at. Don't do it in front of your girlfriend. All right? Don't even use that shit against your mama, because she might even use that shit against you a couple of years into the future. I'm half joking. Anyway, I wanted to get into this next clip right there because he has another story that I think is very unique from an adulthood perspective of managing your emotions. Let's get active.
How does someone who's listening take what you're saying, which is we need to also learn how to control our emotions, and yet at the same time relinquish control?
I'm not gonna tell you story after story in my life, man.
No, we want stories. We want stories.
Tell them stories.
All right, let me tell you this one, and it'll show you how I had to control or rule my emotions and release them. One day I went to leave with my son, and I wasn't paying attention to my surroundings, and I hear a voice say, "Yo, someone's trying to kill me." So I look to my left, and it's a guy on a cell phone, and I'm with my son. So I quickly draw my gun because I didn't know what was going on. And I said, "Who's trying to kill you?" He said, "They're coming around the corner now." It's a Suburban coming around. 3 guys are in it. I have my son on my left, and this guy I'm keeping my eye on to my right. In this moment, I become very angry because I'm upset at the fact that he brought this vehicle towards me.
His family.
And my son is next to me. So if I would have just in that moment released what I was feeling, I would have shot him and him. But that would have put me in prison today. So I had to rule that emotion in the moment and get my son back in this building to safety, all while I'm keeping my eye on this guy on the phone and this Suburban coming around with 3 guys in it. I don't know if they have a gun or not. I get my son inside. So here's another opportunity. Now I have to rule the emotion of fear and sadness. I'm looking at my son's eyes through this little glass window, and I say, "Son, run to the back of the building. Everything's going to be okay." Inside of me, I wanted to cry. I wanted to shed tears because I didn't know if I was going to see my son anymore. But in that moment, like Liz said, that would have been detrimental to my son. So I had to subdue sadness in that moment so that my son could get
Context matters for crying.
I'm hurting inside. But I had to shift back to vigilance. So I turn around, get in a Weaver stance, use my truck as a barrier, because here there's cars turning around. The car then does another U-turn and go the opposite direction. And then I see the guy on the phone runs in the direction of the car. And I yell, "So you're going to run in the same direction as the Suburban?" Once I had a moment to think things through, they were trying to set me up. Because I had a brand new Yukon at the time. And I was new in the area, and it was a potential carjack. But when I drew my weapon, that changed the whole scenario.
Wow.
I went in and got my son, hugged him. We went home. So here we go, Justin, now to releasing. I get home, sit in the living room, and my wife says, she says to me, "You know, you don't seem to be too okay." I says, "I'm not." I said, "I just went through a lot, and I need a moment to release." And so I have a concept I created in Battle Cry where you reflect, release, reset so you can rest. They call it the 4 R's. And so it's imperative. Of course, you want to release, But if my emotions would have mastered me in that moment,
Yeah.
I could have. I'm a great shot. I
Yeah.
could have killed all 4 of the guys.
He made it
But
home
I
alive
wouldn't be on this interview right now.
and not in prison.
I could have cried in front of my son. He would have said, "No, Dad, I can't leave you." Now he's over emotional. He come out trying to protect Dad, and
Yeah.
the guys, what if they would have started shooting? And so I hope the listeners can understand how imperative it is. It's just as important to control or master your emotions in a moment
Yeah.
as it is to release them.
Yeah. Woo! Listen, guys, I had to bring you this content here today. Fantastic, fantastic story, I think, that outlines this idea of mastering and controlling your emotions. So I had to leverage some fantastic clips that I found of this brother yet again in order to try to paint this picture for you, okay? There's some other things that I learned within that clip as well, and I take this within my life as well. Okay, that situation would have been a lot different if he wasn't a Second Amendment carrier. Okay, in the United States of America, we got to deal with the bullshit of there being more guns here than people. And I choose not to be a victim. Know your rights, know the law, know your surroundings, build up your body to the best, the hardest that it can possibly be. Know how to defend yourself, both with your hands and any multiplier tools at your disposal. Know how to deal with your emotions within the particular situation, because then you'll be best equipped to protect yourself. Questions, comments, concerns? Gotta already know what to do. MediocreTourismReviews@gmail.com. Guys, I'll leave a link down below for Mr. Jason Wilson's social so you guys can go check out his anthology of fantastic work. At the end of the day, the inability to master and control your emotions will not only negate you from getting the most supplest of the viscous innards, but also it might get you killed. Until next time, everybody.